Abachani.
Narrating is better than I know.
bakukula fensi ya amasannyalaze ne bakukula zigeti zaffe zebayingirangoka nga ennyonyi ya polisi yebayambako okutukolako bagayo naye tebasobola kuyingira mu nju era ne wajja ebbanga ne bagezaako okukola ekintu kyekimu naye tebasobola basooka nakuba ebadduka naye jjo abantu abo bakomyewo nga bamalire bazze nga bangi ababadde mu yunifoomu z'amagye abatabadde mu yunifoomu z'amagye badde balina obukookolo ku feesi badde balina emundu buli omu ku kkoyo adalina emundu ebiriko zimagazi n'amasasi mangi abamu babadde bakutte ennyondo alala nga balina zimagala badde balina ebisune byebinasobodde okulabako amushuwa byabadde bingi asikari yabadde alina waali waliwo wobeera oluusi abantu batamanako nankubira essimu nga ndi mu nju naŋŋamba abasajja bangi betabawa bali mu kuyingira kuluno bagenda kuyingira abadde maze okulya ekyeggulo nga ntaddewo akataala akatono akamabbaliwo obukuzamu n'akatabo kensoma bwe yakiŋŋambye ettaala nenjijjako takabo nenkazingako nenkamuliri katwe navudde mu buliri nenjagala nsiwolekisenge nfulume ngende wansi naye bamaze okukiggala omutima netuŋŋamba nedda ekyosi kyamagezi nina okubakoleka evidence akalaga yabantu batumulungi kubanga ensija gye bazzeemu nategedeasategeyaka nenziramu nenzigulawo ekisenge nenenda muki balukole ekisenge kyaffe nsanga abasajja bataddeko amadaala bategeka kulinnya naye nga waliwo n'abalala abali mu kutambula katambule nasobodde okukwatako akatono ako nenyingira nenzigalawo omuti wa balkoni vidiyo nenzisindikira mutabani waffe Solomon nemukubira n'omukubira abasajja kati nenkubira ne mutabani waffe omulala taxi lwakuba tumuyita mutabani waffe naye muganda w'omwami nemugamba taxi kiwedde abasajja bayingira nagamba then nenziruka nenzigulawo olugi nenzigalawo olugi lw'ekisenge kyaffe basobole okusigala mu kisenge bayinga time bali abakolaki abayambise naye we nakkiridde amadaala natuukidde mu maaso g'abasirikale bangi nga buli dinisa limu abasirikale nga 10 ne baŋŋamba mu Lunyangule gulawo ne mbagamba sigenda kuggulawo mwako akaseera nensala nengenda mu kinaabiro general bathroom nenekkaliramu nenkubira nebawaluomu nemugamba abasajja mukuumire amatu ebweru kati nenvaayo mu kisenge mu kinaabiro nagenza okutuukira mu kidiiro nga bamaze okukutula enzigi bamaze okumenya amadinisa bangi bayingidde abamu bayize eno mu korido ne bagenda mu bisenge by'abaana abalala bagenze mu lounge abalala ne bagenda mu fumbiro abalala ne bampitako ne bampuga amadaala nabadde ntudde ku madaala omusajja omu nantuukirira naŋŋamba tuula wano naye mu ntebe nemugamba nedda kantuule wansi kuba nadde mpulira nga sisobola kutuula mukubiregasigaa nentuula wansi nanyimirira wano emabega naŋŋamba pe essimuyo nenjimuwa bwenti namala naginteeka mu maaso ndowooza yalowozeza erimu facial recognition oba thambi gundi naye yabadde local password nagamba jjamu password olunyango nemugamba sikira kijjamu agamba jjamu password nemugamba sikira kijjamu nasituka nagenda nafuluma nayita banne abalala bana ne bajja naddamu nalinnyirira wano emabega nankwata empale nadde nyambadde nayeti ya tata Solomon ne bayika kubanga enaku zino mbadde nina n'ansitula. Babadde basajja bakanyama, basajja bafangagana. Balina obuwanvu bwe bumu. Bwe nabadde ntunula wansi nga bayitawo ng'olaba balina ne size y'engalo. Engalo zaadde tezifaanagana, but you can tell nti abantu bano there is certain size, there are certain shape. Kati nankwata n'ansitula. Bwe yansitudde mu bbanga bw'ati eyabadde mu maaso gange naye n'ansitula mu bbanga. Kati ono eyambadde emabega n'asika essaati y'enneti n'agisika bw'ati. Kati nagenza okulaba nga saakwetaabuliza ku basajja babiri kyenakoze n'ensamba ono eyambadde mu maaso. Bwe namusambye n'atambula, oba namusambye wano ndowooza n'atambula. Kati olwatambudde ono munne n'ansika amapeesa bonna negayimika aga night esaati n'agisigaza mu sitingu mwaddemu abasajja bangi. Bwe mba nga nsobola okugeraageranya omuwendo saakugamba nti gwe butuufu, naye babadde ng'abasajja 4 oba 5. Akutte ennyondo, atutte omutayimbwa, akutte waya z'amasannyalaze, akutte ekijegere, akutte magalo, ne kati bwe nakoze bwenti essaati n'ebika amapeesi, bwe yasse bw'ati essaati n'ebika amapeesi n'entambula nga ndi bwereereza ya corridor sitting room. Bwe nagenze mu corridor awo mwabaddemu abasajja abamu nga of course kibeesitaza abamu batunudde wabbali bani batunula wansi, naye mwabaddemu abadde tebafaayo. Kati mwabaddemu omu yeegedde mu Uganda naga nedda mama nodiza essaati ayambala. Kati omwami n'anona essaati, oli yabadde agisudde wansi, omu n'aginona ku essaati n'agamba wanike emikono oyambala essaati. Yagaa nedda essaati yasinja kweyambaza n'agimpa n'eyizzaamu. Bwe nagizizzaamu omusajja ono era eyansitudde wano n'ayuza amapeesa n'akwata ebitupwa by'enviiri zange n'ansitula n'antwala paka ku koolo mu sitimu yaffe mulimu koolo n'ankubako pesi n'ankubako omuma guguno ayulise n'amala okunkubako n'abambaleeta password ne password ekyo ebiseera byonna twate twogera lunyango kubanga byasazeewo mukoolo n'asika n'aziza wansi n'enteeka omutwe wansi. Bantuddeko abasajja nga 4 n'ensirikira wansi ne baŋŋamba leeta password esi nebagamba sijja. Waliwo yabadde abakomandi ngaawo omulala n'ayingira agamba nnotereda mufeeko mubeeko ne banvaako n'ensikira. Kati mwako akaseera nawulidde ekibugumu empulirawo emmeeme ng'ensinduukirira nempulira ng'emirembe kimpeddeko n'ensaba kwasi ne bandeetera amazzi bakufumbiro nensaba n'amala ne bannyongera. Kati mu ekyo ekiseera nawulidde nga sikyendegeera ekibugumu nga kingi lowooza simanyi kyantuuseeko nenzigwamu amaanyi. Nagenza okwesaakanga neebase mu veranda wabweru neebasemu lowooza amazzi nagasesemu ngawolekase naye nga buli omu yagenze. Batutte buli simu, batutte buli laptop, batutte bubuukazi, batutte powerbank, batutte charge, batutte airpods ne camera system yaffe bagisumuluddeyo ne bagitwala ne monitor ne bagitwala ne bamala. Twagenza okumaliriza bino byonna jjukira nze naadde mu kifo kimu nga asikaali waffe baadde bamutulidde bagenza okumuzza mu nju okukosinga okubatwala omuseera balaga bamuguzza basement eriwa nabagamba ndi mujja wano siraba basement bagenza omuleeta waggulu nga ndaba atiriiko omusaayi bamumenye n'eri yabadde ku mulimu n'omuvubuka omulala era abeera naye. Kati omuwala era bamugye mu nnyumba ye ne bamuleeta mukazi waffe yadde akutte bayibu ne bamubuuza abaana baalagawa n'agamba abaana bagenda n'essimu. Mu ekyo ekiseera twatuddeko nadde nkyatudde awo omusajja najja n'ambuuza mu nyankole nti muganda wo gwe waleeta okwesimba Kampala wali olowooza ajja kuwangula munajjanga abantu eyo mulowooza banaawambidde eggwanga bwera ti nensirika mulala najja naŋŋamba wagenda okufumbirwa omusajja omutuki omuganda ng'abanyankole tewalaba era nensirika ebyo byonna byabaddewo kosi basinazirika naye ndowooza ensonga lwaki byampitiriddeko nga bambuuza baawaliwa nebagamba simanyi gyaba. Basically, it was an interrogation. You could see bazze kutwonoonera kwonoona bintu byaffe naye nga mayibula lwabwe bakumya mwami Kyagulanyi. Naye njagala kukumya mwami Kyagulanyi gyali yonna nze ndi mugumu. Bw'oba ng'olaba gy'oli nze ngenda okuggyayo totawaana. Yogeza ensonga ndala ze ziba zikuggyayo sinzi.
But for us who came later,
newe banyambulidde engoye yangobereza kamera. Newe babadde bamenyamenya ebintu yabigobereza kamera. Buli kye bafunyiza bakikobereza kamera. Babadde balina owa kamera ng'addeenga bazirabako kale ndowooza abalala bazirabeko emundi zaali bakutuzabadde ebirya emundi ezo zabadde ziriko zimagazini mpanvu buli omu ku bo yabadde akutte emundi ezimu sizirabako. Ekyo kyekyadde kiraga nti gye babadde bava it was a different section of security.
olowooza nti bano abasajja bavudde oba eyabasindise ye mutawana president General Muhoozi
anoonya Kyagulanyi yamuwa ultimatum for the 8 hours n'amugamba bawaye flatrin abeere n'agamba amunoonya. It is no surprise nti abantu abo bazze ne bayita ne ku security eyabo ababadde batusibidde awaka ennaku zino zonna ne bayingira ne bakola bye bakoze ne bagenda. I cannot doubt nti basindikiddwa ntana interest n'ekikwano kyabwe.
Kyabagambye nti okuva wano nsubira ku ddala otya nti bayinza okulantinga babadde bakola kulantinga y'ebintu oluvannyuma ne bajja ne bakola search ne babisangayo otya
okutya sisobola kugamba nti tekulina ne wano wendi nkyalina ntiisa naye gali makala wali weeweka of course bujje baaka bapulantinga y'ebintu jagezaako okuswipinga babali bababiplanti bwe bali babazza okunona ebyo beplantinze ebirala of course basobola okubimanya olaba baplantinga ku mwami Kyagulanyi emundi abo buli kimu bakisobola naye kyo tekigenda kufiirizibwamu gabanansiibulamu
ripooti y'omusawo
ripooti y'omusawo yagambye pressure yabadde waggulu nga nina anxiety era ne bampa ku painkillers bali mu monitoringa bruises ezimu nagatandika okuziraba kumakya kuno olwenekeredde mubitundu ebimu binuna ng'otunulako nga waliwo ebyankoonye naye ebisinga biri mu bisambi bimbulago wano olaba nga webanduze kuwalabika so gwe banansiibulira wonna
oba kati mulinyinga abantu
bakola ebintu emirembe gyaliwo gyakola ebintu ebyo naye abantu abo tebamaliriza bulungi as individuals nate such a number I knew when they come they'll take away every kind of evidence so I sent it to my son I told him Solomon these people are here for this time it's a bigger number it's a different group he said can I post it I said please post it and I called our other son I called him Sandra I called Dax is I told him, I said, Dax, this is the end. He said, what did I say, these people are here. So I locked the bedroom and then I walked downstairs. They had already put ladders at the front of the house. On those stairs, they had put ladders and were climbing to come to the veranda. So I locked the bedroom and walked. Then I went to the bathroom, the general bathroom downstairs, and I called one of our neighbors. Everyone I called actually picked up the first. I told him, we are in trouble, these are not the neighbors. In that moment, they started saying, Igura. Then I came out of the bathroom and came to the sitting room. They were in the windows. Every window that you see on that house had like 7 people peek through it. They said, Igura. And I said, keep Igura. literally meaning open. And I said, I'm not going to open. Then I sat on the steps. And they broke the door, broke the windows. A swarm of men, big muscles, height so high, they looked the same. When I looked down, they had almost the same shoe size. That group is a group that is selected. You can see that they selected them according to height, weight, size, color, and they belong to one tribe. They all swam in. At that moment, I looked down on the floor. Then I could see footsteps going to different directions of the house. Some went to the corridors, some went to the lounge, and some bypassed me on the stairs. And went upstairs. Now, in that moment, one of them came and told me, come and sit in the chair. I got off the stairs, I sat on the floor. Because in that moment, I wasn't sure my knees would allow me to stay in the chair. I sat on the floor. So he walked behind me, knelt behind me, and said, give me the phone. And I did this, I gave it to him. Then he said, remove the password. I said, I'm not removing the password. He said, in the password. And I said, password in that. Then he walked past me with the phone, went outside, talked to some people, came in with 4 men. Extra. Already the sitting room has more men standing, some with hammers. Each one of them was armed. I have never seen such firearms. New, fresh. So, ignore the other 40, 50 that were sitting. He called me. They came. When they came, he went back behind me. I was wearing my husband's nightie because these days I was feeling like I can't wear my nightie. Something is going to happen in that night. So I was wearing a biker, and on top of it, I was wearing a nightie. So he held the trousers of the nightie and pulled me up. Then he held the shirt of the nightie from the back. He was using one arm. So he held it, then he brought the phone in front of me and said, remove the password. I said, I have told you I will not remove the password. The one that he came with held me and lifted me off my feet. So when he lifted me, in self-defense, I kicked him because he was in front of me. So I kicked him in the groin, and then he walked away. This one pulled me, the buttons of my shirt broke, and he's still with my shirt in his hands. Now, I just walked away from them and went and stood in one corner. But remember, this is a house full of men. Some looked away. Some were unbothered. One of them said in Uganda, "Neda mama mwezi zisate yanga." Then one of them held his hand and walked him out. One of them picked the shirt and said, "Put up your hands and I dress you up." I said, "I can dress myself up." Gave it to me, I put it on. Of course, the buttons were not on. And then he sat down. When I sat down, they lifted me again. Now, this time by this, because I played this when I went to sleep. That same man held me by my hair, lifted me up. We have holes in the sitting room, and he hit my head in the hole and slit my mouth. So when he hit me, he pulled me down and sat me down. Then he pushed my head down. I went down, and he sat on me. I could feel 4 bodies sitting on me. Then he said, "Will you give me the password?" I said again in my way, "You have already done enough. You are not getting the password." There was someone who was like commanding them. He came in, he said, "What's happening here?" He said, "Leave her alone." Then he started. Meanwhile, in that moment, they were already upstairs, creating havoc. The ones who were outside were beating our askar and the other boy that we lived with. Some other group was already in our helper's room, picking her up from her house. Now, they bring her, she's holding her cross and her Bible. She is new, she doesn't know anything. They ask her, where is the controller room of this cameras? She said, I'm new, I don't know. They bring in the askari. They want to take him upstairs. He says, I have never gone outside. I don't know what's there. They ask him, where is the underwear? Where is the basement? And he said, I'm new here. I know nothing like the basement. They ask him, where are the children? And he said, the children went for holidays after Christmas. Where did they go? And he said, so in that moment, they were already picking the camera controllers, they were already picking the Wi-Fi, they were already picking all the phones in the room. They took AirPods, chargers, power banks, woofers, radios, anything electrical, laptops, everything. These people were drunk. The house was stinking. So, in that moment I realized that it was not going to end. They took the girl out, they took the story out, and then they started asking me, so you brought your brother to run in the Kampala MP seat. Did he win? You think you can just bring foreigners and bring them in Kampala and think they will win? And then another one asked me and said, you got married to a, I don't know what they call the winners. What do they call the winners in English? A winners is like a traitor. It's like the worst person that there can be in the world. He said, you married that traitor of Uganda. Were you not seeing that? In that moment, I feel out of rage. I started feeling dizzy. I started feeling hot. I asked for water. They brought me water. Those same people gave me my water. I drank it. And then the next time I got to see myself, I was sleeping in the room. And they were gone. So it is the sky who drove me out and brought me in. In that whole mix, we still had the police which has kept me under house arrest for 8 days. The other thing they kept asking me was, where is your husband? I told them I don't know what it is. They said, before we beat that round table, where is your husband? I said, you can do whatever you like. I don't need you. They even asked the same thing to us. And he said, he went to vote, he came back the next day, I didn't see him because I work in the evening, so I don't know what time. That's how it was. But by the time they left, they had broken all the doors. They had broken all the windows. You'll see the pictures. They had pulled down the TV. They had caused havoc everybody, everywhere. Pulled my children's clothes out of wardrobes. Pulled beds out of They had scratched the walls. They took anything that they felt was of value. So this book was a book of murderers, it was a book of thieves. They took all my phones, and yeah.
Thank you. That's a very painful audio to even narrate. What I'd like to ask here is that is at home having their time, and then we begin to see videos and communication on social media that Bobby Wine's house home is under attack. What in your mind do you think did they come to do? Do you think they came to look for Bobby Wine?
One of the main reasons was to look for my husband because his phone has been on. I switched it on, yes, because there is a password I was looking. And then that was like at a long time. So I think they got a signal, and then they were showing it. But he had left his own. So they were looking for him. When you consider that, they were looking for him. Also, they came to terrorize me, to put me in this situation so that wherever my husband is, he can come out. I want to encourage him to stay with me. I'm not sure I can take care of myself. And the other thing, they came to steal our property. Because because they stole everything valuable. Those people even stole my Chinese sweets. They pulled it out of the drawer and asked me what is this. I said this. Sweet someone and at work. They packed it and everything. So they stole anything and everything. They put their hands. Money, airports, chargers, power banks, phones, laptops. There's something else they took back. It is illegal these days. But we had a lot of other electronics that we had bought before they made the Elon Musk illegal. So we had switched to
Yeah. Now, my last question to you is that previously, sometime Monday or Sunday, the Secretary General and Al Jazeera, a team from Al Jazeera, wanted to come and visit you to deliver some food. We wanted to witness him delivering food to your home, and we were blocked. We were not allowed to come in. My question is, how have you been surviving? Considering, I mean, I've driven past your home a few times, and there's been that roadblock since. How are you surviving at home?
So when the interreligious council came to visit, that didn't allow us to go back. And that was 7 days. So our boy was allowed to go back. So we went in and we have been surviving that. That is after the religious council.
Will you be going back home? Are you afraid? Because whatever happened is very difficult to
I
experience.
am afraid. I have just started seeing the bruises I picked from last year. But I am going to my home. As soon as the doctor says I'm shaped to go home, I am going home first of all to fix everything I get down. And to go home because that's my home.
Also, of course, my name is Walter Mr. I would like to hear from you generally, medical matters aside, that you can tell us what the doctor's report is like in terms of general health and general well-being, but also, are you worried that maybe these people could have planted anything within home or maybe in London? How are you going to be able to maybe they are not seeing now because we've been hearing that they are doing outside. Probably now they planted some stuff to see inside the house. We need to like some sort of security check.
So, first of all, like I said, I'm afraid. Oh, this is traumatizing. Whatever happened, these were hundreds of men on one small room because I was alone. That is traumatizing. Now, normally when they come to homes, it is well known that they plant guns, they plant illegal stuff, which they would want to come back later to say they are sweeping your home and check, then take out the gem and take it along. We are afraid, of course, they could have planted something. Because they came outside, they came in the back, they took out the camera, they switched it. So anything could have happened in that time, inside and outside. We will try to sweep it. But they can't go out the camera. They can't do something.
And in terms of the general well-being, maybe a report from what the doctor is saying.
So I came here, my pressure was so high, and of course right now is when I'm feeling the pain of the strangles that I got. I have some bruises on my thighs, unfortunately I can't show you. At least you can see my neck, and a slit on my lip because they hit me on the floor in the room, in the sitting room. So that's the most I can show. But some I feel already. Because they were holding my hands are swollen, my arms are swollen. As time goes by, I get to feel a little bit of more pain, because when the body relaxes, that's when you get to feel most of the pain. But I'm on painkillers, and I've had some anxiety medication. Maybe the doctors will explain more.
But just to be clear,
passed out in the night.
He came back to the hospital around 1, and they came to our house at about 10:30. So I have not asked Ms. Kari what time we left home. But the Lord knows, because the Lord came home during the whole raid, and he met these people in the house. He saw the whole squad, so he could tell the time. I am not in position to give details of that time.
So,
But we reached here at around 1, and our home is not so far away from here, even though it was even at night, so the drive wasn't long.
So if I say that you are unconscious for maybe a couple of hours, would that be accurate?
No, that's too much, I think. It wasn't so many hours. Yeah, it's about an hour, because I realized that I was on the way coming to the hospital. So meaning,
This question. Did you feel at any point that General Mose was in the property?
of course, they spoke with me actually. They asked me where Kabobi was. They talked about a brother of mine who was running for Kampala Central MPC, who is Rongwe, who is actually a brother in Christ, his family, but we are not blood related. They asked me where Bobby was, and you know who has been looking for him, who gave him a 48-hour ultimatum just recently, and who told him to come out of the latrine because nobody was looking for him. And I'm sure he actually is looking for him.
Would like you to kindly